Welcome to our new series, Women in Leadership, proudly presented by Dove and Cub. I'm joined here today by Joy Thomas, Senior Associate Athletics Director for Health and Performance for the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. Thomas joined the team in 2017 and has since worked her way into a senior level management position with Gopher Athletics. Not only does she work with athletic medicine, athletic performance, and sports and nutrition, Thomas is also the Minnesota Big Ten representative for mental health and is the administrator in charge of infectious disease. Thanks for joining us today, Joy.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Have you had an opportunity to become a mentor to any young women or young professionals even, and made the time to do that now at your level in your career?
Yeah, I think that personally, I believe that mentoring and championing for those that are coming up in the profession and they're, maybe in tough spots or they're in different spots is vital. And so it's easy to say, oh gosh, I'm just too busy. But everything that you're doing can tie back to mentoring, right? So in the types of meetings, if we're going to have an all staff meeting, do we have a piece on leadership to start it? We do 30-minute connections. It's harder now, obviously, because everything is over Zoom. You can't just go sit at a coffee shop for 30 minutes and talk. So you have to find other ways to connect. But I think that you can always be mentoring and you can always be pulling folks along with you.
How has self-esteem, I know you're a pretty big advocate from what I hear for mental health for student athletes and just at the university, making that big change into a new phase of life. How has self-esteem for you played a big role in your life?
One area that I think that so many of us kind of fall victim to is this imposter syndrome, this idea that I don't really know what I'm doing it, but all these people seem to think I know what I'm doing. And so I'm just going to kind of keep strolling along until I kind of get into a place of comfort. And, I had the opportunity to see Brene Brown give a talk about 2 weeks ago for women leaders in college sports. And one of the things she said is she's like, look, here's the thing. We're all just winging it, right? And so being able to recognize that what I'm feeling, other people are also feeling at the exact same time has been really, really helpful. This idea that we're just all kind of strolling along, right? And maybe in the back of their brain is this little bit of this imposter syndrome and how important it is to recognize that, no, I am qualified. I do know the decisions I'm making. I am trained to be doing the things that I'm doing. And then to just kind of sit back and trust your gut, right? As an athletic trainer, I really learned when I'm doing evaluations, if something felt off, something was probably off. And so that helping to learn to trust your gut, I think really helped in terms of self-esteem and just confidence in the position.
That self-awareness is huge moving into, just as you grow professionally or personally as a woman in any industry. That's great. I want to ask if you could give your younger self any advice, knowing what you know now, what would you tell her?
It will not be a direct route to your end game, right? I think that, and it's okay for your end game goal to change. So the thing that you leave college intent to do may not be the thing that still drives you 5 years later. And it's okay. It's okay to take the shift. It's okay to try something different. It may feel like you have to take a step backwards before you can take 2 steps forwards. And that's all right. And you only have to look at yourself in the mirror every day, not everyone else. So you need to do what you know is right and to stay with it.
That's great. I love that. Well, thank you, Joy. It was a pleasure. Thank you for making the time out of your schedule today to come on our show, Women in Leadership. You are our first guest, so it was really special to talk to you today.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the chance to chat with you and to discuss this.
And thank you to Dove and Cub for their support of the Women in Leadership series.